faithful Niner Empire. What's good? What's good? What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. Faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. Welcome back to another episode with yours truly, Jay in the Bay. Another episode of What's Good. How's everyone doing out there? The 49ers are in the NFC Championship game, the third time in the Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch era. And we're facing off against one of the best teams in the NFL, in the Philadelphia Eagles. I think it's fair to say that the Niners and Eagles are two of the best teams in the NFC easily for the last 2 months. Obviously, the 49ers have won 12 straight games. The Eagles probably would have been on a nice winning streak as well, but they did have Jalen Hurts was hurt for, I think he missed 2 or 3 games with a shoulder injury. So there's no doubt, though. Both teams are supremely talented. The Eagles have multiple all-pro players, multiple Pro Bowlers on both sides of the ball. It's going to be, obviously, you got a lot of talent, but I think what's going to really stand out in this game is both defenses. I think it's fair to say this is the best defense that we will play all season. What the Eagles can do rushing the passer, they did lead the league this year in the regular season with 70 sacks. 70. That's a lot of sacks. And it wasn't just, obviously, with that amount of sacks, you have multiple players hitting double-digit sacks. And they can just really get after the quarterback. Now, where their weakness is their run defense. It's not as good as the 49ers. Obviously, the 49ers had the number one run defense, but the Eagles are in the middle of the pack. So obviously, that's where Shanahan's going to try to win the game, obviously, in the running game. But I'm excited for this game. It's going to kick off noon in Philly. Obviously, they have a hell of a fan base. They're excited about their team. We're excited about our team. But let's get into 5 reasons why I think the 49ers will win this game and head to the Super Bowl. Let's get into Jay's 5 big things.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5 big things.
Number 1, we have to contain the mobile quarterback in Jalen Hurts. The 49ers have had issues this season with containing mobile quarterbacks. I mean, we saw Jarrett Stidham, we saw Justin Fields. There were multiple quarterbacks who they gave us some trouble. And I think some keys for the 49ers defense is, hey, especially on those RPOs, you got to read the play. I know our defensive linemen love to just attack the quarterback, but in situations like this, you got to read the quarterback. If the quarterback sticks that football out to the running back, you have to, that end or whoever the defensive person is on the end of the line, they've got to watch. They cannot just go after the running back because there's no one behind you to get the quarterback. So containing Hurts will be very key. I think this offense is one of the best, and I'm talking about the Eagles, when they can run the ball with Miles Sanders. They can also run with Jalen Hurts. And I think if we contain the running game, I think Sanders is a good back. He made the Pro Bowl over CMC, which is a travesty. I don't know how that happened, but hey, it is what it is. But hey, number 1, you got to contain Hurts, keep him in the pocket. Got to be disciplined, whoever it is on that edge, if it's Bosa, if it's Samson, Charles Omenihu, whoever it is, if Hufanga comes in, you just got to be disciplined. You got to, read that play. Don't be too aggressive because I would rather Hurts hand it off to the back than he keeps it and he's got all that room on the left or right side to run. I think those plays could really hurt this 49ers defense. So my number 1 big thing, contain Hurts, is going to be crucial to this game plan. Number 2, You gotta negate Philly's pass rush. I mentioned it earlier, Faithful. The Eagles, they led the league 70 sacks. That's a lot of sacks right there. That's a lot of sacks. So how do you negate Philly's pass rush, Jay? Well, one thing you gotta do, definitely gotta run the ball. That's one thing, and the Niners love to do that. But also you have to get rid of the ball quickly, whether that be with some screen passes, which is something that Shanahan doesn't do a ton of. But I think he's going to have to open that playbook. He's going to have to add some screen passes. Maybe we'll get Ray McLeod more involved in the game plan. Maybe we'll get Danny Gray. I know that's a hope and a prayer, right? But Brock Purdy cannot hold on to the ball for 45 seconds in this game. I don't think so. And if he does, I think he will be scrambling, which is something that we've seen him do. But that's also another way. Get this defensive line tired. I know they go 7-8 linemen deep, but that's also something that we can, help negate Philly's pass rush. Obviously, run the ball, throw some screen passes, some quick slants, get rid of the ball quickly, frustrate this defensive line. And I think they'll be tired by, the second half, but definitely have to negate Philly's pass rush. Their strength is rushing the passer, obviously, with the amount of sacks they have. So we need to make that not a strength in this game. And that's how you do that. Running the ball, screen passes, draws, quick slants, BP, get rid of the ball quickly, make good decisions. And we've seen him do that before. Number 3. We got to win the time of possession and the turnover battle. I looked at some of the Eagles' losses this year, and whenever they lost, they weren't able to run the ball. They also lost the time of possession, and they lost the turnover battle. So obviously that's going to be key. One thing that's helped us win 12 straight games is we've won the turnover battle pretty much in all of our games. I believe in the last 12, we won the turnover battle. Kudos to BP for not being a turnover machine, and kudos to this defense, this ball hawking defense, for getting fumbles, for getting interceptions. Obviously, if you win the turnover, if you win the time of possession, obviously that means you're moving the chains, you're running the ball, and you're having long sustained drives, which is something that we're used to seeing with Jimmy G. I think Brock Purdy has shown the ability to, do 4 to 5, 6 play drives and go down the field to score a touchdown. I think that's great. But, I want to see us ground and pound, run the ball, tire out this defense, and make that defense stay on the field longer than the offense. And I think if we do this, we'll definitely be in better position to win on Sunday. Number 4, definitely got to bring the pain. What you mean, Jay? I think this is a game where, hey, CMC's a little banged up. Elijah Mitchell's a little banged up. I think we need to see a 2021 performance from Deebo Samuel. We got to see number 19 give this defense 19 problems. I don't think they want to tackle Deebo. I don't think so. We need to give Deebo the ball, running it, receiving it, especially on those screen passes where he catches the ball behind the line of scrimmage. He's got a few blockers ahead of him. We've seen him, have success in those types of plays. I don't think the Eagles corners are going to want to tackle Deebo after he hands out a few licks. And, I just think Deebo's going to have to really have a great game in this one, especially with a few of our offensive players who are nicked up. Also, George Kittle. I mean, we've seen a resurgence of George Kittle. We know what he can do in the blocking game, but also, catching the ball. I mean, we all saw that great one-handed catch, last week, and he had 5 catches, I think 95 yards. So I want to continue to see Kittle and Deebo. I think they could be 2 of the X factors on offense, and just from a physical standpoint. Obviously, we know the defense can be physical, but Deebo brings that extra oomph when he has the ball in his hands, and so is Kittle. So let's get on to number 5. Man, definitely got to execute when it counts. Obviously, last week against the Cowboys in the red zone, we were only 1 of 3. From an offensive standpoint. So we definitely, when we get in the red zone, we definitely have to score points, and not a field goal. Kudos, Robbie Gould. Obviously, he's a beast, never missed a kick in postseason play, but I think we need to score touchdowns in order to beat this team. I don't think we can have, honestly, a similar offensive performance that we had against the Cowboys I don't think if we have that same offensive output against the Eagles, I just think, we're keeping the game really too close. I think we will be giving the Eagles more opportunities to get back into the game or potentially lead the game or win the game. I think we're going to have to be better, on offense. Definitely got to score in the red zone. Special teams, whew. Outside of Robbie Gold, I know Mitch was good too, but Ray, come on, Ray. And granted, I think that was his only fumble as punt returner this year. I don't remember him fumbling before, but these are big moments, and we need everyone to execute, and we need everyone to have their best moments in the playoffs. So hopefully that was just a blip, Ray, and not a trend, because I don't think we can afford to lose the turnover battle in this game and still expect to win. So hey, when we're in the red zone, let's give the ball to Debo. Let's give the ball to Kittle. I like Kittle matching up against these linebackers. I think that's the weakness of this Eagles defense. They don't have big names at linebackers. They can play, but I think Kittle can definitely have the upper hand in several of plays, and hopefully Brock Purdy sees him. So those are Jay's 5 big things. Let's get into the next segment.
Hey, Jay!
It's time for Hey Jay, where viewers send in their questions to yours truly, Jay in the Bay. Let's get to the first question. We have Joseph. What's good? Joseph says, how does the 49ers offensive line hold up against the Eagles? Whew, man, the Eagles I think they have the best offensive line and defensive line in the NFL. I think there's no question about that. Obviously, they can get after the quarterback, 70 sacks on the season. I think their run defense is not as good as them sacking the quarterback. They rank middle of the pack. And in the Eagles' last 3 games, they've given up over 100 yards rushing. So I think that could definitely benefit the 49ers. But I think the only way to really hold up is BP has to get rid of the ball quickly. 3-4 seconds, if that, get rid of the ball. Try to negate the pass rush. Let's do some screens. Let's do some quick slants, reverses, whatever you got to do. Just get rid of the ball quick. Also, I think running the ball. I think most, if not all offensive linemen, they would rather run the ball. They would rather impose their will. They would rather be the aggressor in going after the defensive lineman rather than pass blocking and sitting back and kind of, taking the aggressiveness from the defensive lineman. So run the ball, get rid of the ball quick, and hey, get the ball to your playmakers, and that'll help negate this pass rush. Also, I think you could see Kittle used a little bit more in pass blocking situations. We've seen that before. We could see that again. And hey, let's chip these defensive ends when they're ready to pass rush. Have McCaffrey chip them on their way out for a route, or Juice do the same thing. So that's also another way to help negate this pass rush. Appreciate the question, Joseph. We have Teresa. What's good? Teresa says, which team is more likely to win the turnover battle? That's a great question. I have no idea, but I will tell you this. I think the 49ers, in their winning streak, the last 12 games, the 49ers have won the turnover battle basically in every game. This defense has been hungry getting turnovers, whether it be forcing fumbles, whether it be getting interceptions. Huff, Demo Lenore, Tayshaun Gibson, a lot of these guys have had interceptions, Jimmy Ward. So I like our team to win the turnover battle. Who will win it? Hey, the team that executes best and the team that gets pressure on the opposing quarterback. But hopefully we will win the turnover battle. And if we do, I think we definitely win this game. Appreciate the question though, Teresa. Kylie, what's good? Kylie says, what's the best way to slow down Jalen Hurts? Man, let me just say this, that Jalen Hurts has had a fantastic year. I know his rookie season, there was definitely doubt in whether he could become a franchise quarterback. He definitely struggled in the playoffs. I believe that was against the Buccaneers last year. He struggled mightily. And, let's just say, there were definitely some doubts about Jalen Hurts, and I believe he's up for comeback player of the year, I believe, in the NFL honor. So, yeah, and I think he was even in the MVP conversation prior to him getting hurt. And I think the best way to slow him down, even if you get pressure on him, he can evade the rush. He can, he can scramble. He can do similar things to what Brock Purdy can do. I think we're going to just have to play a damn near perfect game on defense. Maybe try to confuse Jalen Hurts at the line of scrimmage, maybe bringing some linebackers in to pretend to blitz, then having those linebackers, shoot out into coverage like we saw Fred Warner do. Definitely got to hit him though as well. Definitely got to hit him. Obviously in a legal way, of course, but hey, make him feel you, make him feel the 49ers defense, make him understand why this is the number one defense in the NFL. But in regards to slowing him down, maybe try to confuse him at the line of scrimmage, obviously hit him when he does throw the ball. And obviously you got to get after him. You got to get after the quarterback. You got to make him feel pressure. You got to make him feel uneasy in the pocket. And it'll be interesting to see if DeMeco Ryans has a quarterback spy on him. I think that's something that we should definitely use, whether it be Fred Warner, whether it be Talanoa Hufanga. Also blitzing. Hey, blitzing is a good way to slow down Hurts. Talanoa Hufanga timed up some perfect blitzes in last week's game. Let's see him do that again in this game. But we just got to make Jalen Hurts feel this 49ers defense on, all 11 guys and all the reserves who come in. You just got to make this Eagles offense feel you and make them realize why we're the number one defense in the NFL. Appreciate the question, Kylie.
Away, Jay.
All right, it's time for Fade Away Jay. From a fan perspective, I can't wait to watch this game because you have two of the best defenses in the NFL. You got two young quarterbacks who are having excellent seasons. Both teams have great running games. Both teams have Pro Bowlers, all pros on both sides of the ball. So it's just going to be an exciting game to watch just from a general fan perspective. And then when you bring in the fact that, it's our team, the 49ers in the game versus the Eagles, it definitely ratchets it up another level. So, I just think the 49ers need to do what they've done all year. That's be the aggressor on both sides of the ball. Obviously run the ball 30 to 35 times, win the turnover battle. That's something that we've been able to do in our win streak. Just continue doing that. But obviously it's going to be a little bit more difficult against the Philadelphia Eagles. So I expect a low scoring game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles are up at halftime. I wouldn't be surprised. But I think the 49ers running game will wear this team down. And I'm looking forward to the game. Obviously our secondary going up against their wide receivers is going to be an intriguing matchup. They got two of the best wide receiver tandems in the NFL. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Those are going to be interesting matchups. And also something I didn't mention earlier is penalties. We've seen this secondary get kind of handsy and get some penalties. That's something that's definitely going to have to be toned down. If we could keep it to under 5 penalties in this game, I'll take that right now. And just capitalize on the Eagles' mistakes. So I think the 49ers, the Niner Empire, will win this game. I'm taking the 49ers to win 21-20. And it's going to be obviously a close game. I think it'll be a back and forth. It's going to seem like every play matters. And of course it will. The winner goes to the Super Bowl. But hey, thank you guys for joining me today. Shout out 49ers Cutback. Appreciate you guys joining me on What's Good with yours truly, Jay in the Bay. If you're interested in more Jay in the Bay, hey, check me out. YouTube, IG, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Just search Jay in the Bay. Appreciate all the support. Hey, have a great weekend. And hopefully we'll be back in 2 weeks because that means the 49ers will be in the Super Bowl, second time in Shanahan's era. So, hey, everyone have a great weekend. Go Niners. Let's get this dub.